live. Pardon me. Peace to the family. What's going on, y'all? I'm logging in at 8:17. I'm logging in at 8:17. Shout out to the brother Kobe Bryant. R.I.P. Blessings to you. I'm logging in at 8:17. Literally. Peace to the family. Peace to Marcus Garvey. That's 8:17. His birthday is 8:17. I was thinking of 8:23. Kobe Bryant, his birthday 8:23. But it is what it is. Shout out. What's going on, y'all? I'm in the place to be. I'm in the place to be. Let me get this party started. Shout out to Sister Margaret. Share the video. Share the video. Come on, come on, come on. Share the video. Let's get the party started. Shout out to Sister Jem and the family. I love you. Peace to everybody that supports the movement. Let's get these watch parties started. Alrighty. I'm definitely feeling good. Definitely feeling good. Let me start this watch party up. Let me get this watch party popping. Shout out to everybody on the YouTube. I love y'all. Thank you. This is a simulcast. This is a simulcast. Alrighty. What y'all doing, man? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? What y'all up to? I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling really good. I'm about to build on this science. So, put something in the comment section. Your comments will appear right there in the comment section. Come on, fill the comment section up. You are relevant. You are relevant. I made sure that is available for the family. Yes, yes, I love y'all, man. It looks like the broadcast is going pretty smooth. It looks like it's going pretty smooth. I'm feeling good. So, yeah, it's going pretty smooth. It's going pretty good. Shout out to Sister Iris. What's up? What's up? I see you, I see you, I see you. Give me about 1 more minute of invites and I'll be ready. I'll be ready to get it popping. All right. I'll be ready to get it popping. All right. Yeah, so all right. Shout out to Brother Mike, the Angel Michael. Thank you for the share. Thank you for the share, Brother Mike. I saw the share. Thank you. Anybody else want to share the video? I appreciate it. All right. All right. So I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready to get it in. For the most part, I'm ready to talk about something. Let me see if I can get this straight. All right. Let me see if I can get this straight. All right. Peace to everybody in the family. Share the video. Share the video. So this will be a PowerPoint presentation. This will be a PowerPoint presentation. Now, the question is, all right, the question and the topic of today is, where should we pray? All right, that is the question. That is the topic of discussion for today. Where should we pray? What direction should we pray? I mean, that should be self-explanatory. It should be self-explanatory. Where should you pray? All right, but for my Muslim brothers and sisters, you know, they got something where more or less they pray towards a direction called the Qibla and also called the Kaaba. All right, so what I want to do is share some information with the family and say is that we actually supposed to be facing the direction of the Kaaba, and we also supposed to be facing the direction of the Qibla in prayer. But it's a big but right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a big but. I'm going to tell you what the big but is. What Qibla and what Kaaba means is not actually being exercised in today's society. All right? The word Qibla and the word Kaaba is not actually being exercised in its full capacity. So what I want to do today is I want to talk about the direction of prayer, and I want to tap into the mode of that direction in light of where we are in the zodiac as of right now. All right, where we're stationed at. All right, so from April 20th to May 20th, we are in the zodiac sign of Taurus. Shout out to all the Tauruses in the building. Today is going to be your day. Today is going to be your day. Shout out to all the Tauruses. I love y'all. Today is going to be your day. If you know anybody that is a Taurus, this is a powerful, powerful video for them. This is also a powerful video for us to connect up with the zodiac sign in general, or more or less the space and time that we're located in, the energy, which is Taurus. All right, so that's going to be the point of discussion. So you might ask me, well, what direction of prayer, or what direction do we pray? I got you. We basically pray in the direction of the Qibla. Okay, the Qibla. So now, a Qibla is basically like back in ancient times, right? And this is also back into the times of David, in the times of Solomon and other great people, you know, like Ramesses and Khufu and you know, Akhenaten and various other people. All right, they had a certain place in a temple, right? And it was called literally the Qibla. In Arabia, it's literally called the Qibla. All right. But in Hebrew, it connects up a whole nother way where they call it the Dabir. All right. Which would be like the innermost niche of the temple. All right. And that would be the direction of prayer. And it goes to the same thing when it goes to Islam. The Qibla would be literally the most innerest part of the temple, the niche, or where the temple is facing. All right, the niche. All right. So now I'm gonna bring y'all to some good information on why is this important, and why you know, a certain direction or a certain way that we prayed in general. You know, what was it? Why was it important? Okay. So now I'm gonna bring y'all to, let me see, I'm gonna bring y'all to a Quranic verse here. I'm gonna bring y'all to the Quran. First, I'm gonna take y'all here. Let me see. Take y'all to Quran. All right, I got you. I'm going to take y'all right here. Shout out to the people. Let me see. Put that in there for y'all. All right, boom. Quran 222, 115. All right. So, now you might say, Lamel, why are you bringing up the Holy Quran in here? I thought you were just bringing up the Bible yesterday. I thought you was bringing up, some things from... Look, listen. I deal with a universal thought. I'm going to say that. Everything that I connect up with is universal thought. All right. So, more or less, men and women lie and the numbers don't lie. And I always bring the numbers up in this to connect and to connect the thoughts. But in principle alone, I want y'all to catch this. All right. This is for anybody that's a Muslim. All right. In general, it was an argument, amongst the Muslim brothers and sisters where, they would face the east, for the Kaaba to pray. All right. And they asked the messenger, basically, this is the direction that we supposed to pray. So this was the return that the messenger said. And to Allah belongs the east and the west. And wherever you turn, there is the face of Allah. Indeed, Allah is all encompassing and all knowing. All right. So now you might say, why would you bring up a Quranic verse in reference to Allah belongs the east, the west, and wherever you might turn your face, there is Allah? Because you might ask, well, what direction is we supposed to pray in general? Allah or God or whatever you consider to be the supreme creator owns every direction. All right. And if you look at it right here, you looking at it from Allah or God just revealing this in the Quran 115 surah, you see that more or less that Allah is looking from a direction of up. It's seeing things from above, from a vertical standpoint, instead of a 2D standpoint, because we look at things from a 2D standpoint. Like when they say that the world is flat, in general, it's from the perspectives of people's mind. Not saying that the world is flat. The world is an orb. All right. But from people's perspective, they see it flat because all they see is north, east, south, and west. And in general, that's a 2D image. All right. But God, or what you consider to be Allah, sees in many dimensions, and one of the dimensions that we're brought up to is the third dimension, as person, places, and things, past, present, and future, man, woman, and child. All right. But also from this vertical standpoint is where the Most High God is looking at things and saying, yo, wherever your face may turn, Allah owns that. All right, so I want you to get that. So that was called the Qibla, or the direction. But in general, when you take it back to David, when he brought in the Dabir, the Dabir is another word for matrix. When they utilize the word matrix as being womb, it's interchangeable with far as the word niche as being the innermost place in the temple, and also the word womb. All right. So that's something that I want people to understand also on here. That's very important. All right. Because the word matrix, far as being the innermost niche in the temple, is also connected with the word Dabir, but it's also connected with the Qibla. All right. So now we're going back to we'll go back to the fact that we are in the month of Taurus. All right, so now what I'm going to give y'all is some Taurus energy. Let me give y'all some Taurus energy. I'm going to give y'all a couple facts about Taurus. All right, so one thing about Taurus is, what's so sacred about the Taurus zodiac sign is this, is that it's visible in the northern and the southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, the constellation can be seen through autumn and winter months. And in the southern hemisphere, Taurus can be seen from late spring and throughout the summer. Note, it will appear upside down, all right, in the southern hemisphere. All right, so you might say, why is this relevant? Why is this relevant? Because, of course, it's going to deal with the Taurus energy or the Taurean energy. Because if you notice, the energy of a magnet, shout out to Sister LaUnc, I see you in here, Queen. The energy of a magnet actually flows in a Taurus. And one thing is about a Taurus has two poles. Does it not? Look, listen. This is why I'm going to solve some mysteries for y'all. All right? In a magnetic pole, right, there is no such thing as a monopole. There is a positive and a negative. Is there not? There's no such thing as a monopole. So if we bringing this back to Taurus, I just showed y'all that this is literally we in the matrix. That's why I said catch up. Look, I took y'all to the word Qibla, which is direction. Then I said that the word Qibla is related to the word Dabir, which is also the word niche, as in the innermost place of the temple, related to the word matrix. But also I took you out to Taurus as this being the time in general that we're living in until May, around May 20th. But I was talking about the Taurus energy. Literally, it flows like a magnet. It looks like a magnet. When you look at the horns of the Taurus, it flows like this. The horns of the bull, it flows like a Taurus, like the energy of a magnet. And the ancients knew this because it literally connects up. Because if you can see Taurus in the southern hemisphere, and you can, or the southern or the northern hemisphere, and also the southern hemisphere, what is it in relation to? It's in relation to the magnetic force. The magnetic force of Ptaurus. The magnetic force of Ptaurus. That's what, shout out to all my Tauruses in the building. This is connected up with the magnetic force of Ptaurus. All right. So as you see, no matter how the clock or how the earth moves, the energy is felt from the bottom layer and the top layer, and it's seen from the bottom layer and the top layer, connecting up to the Taurus. All right. So now, why you say Ptaurus? I always say Ptaurus, and in connection to the Egyptian deity, or what we call Thawalu, all right, which is considered to exist before all things, and by his will thought the world into existence. It was first conceived by thought and realized by the word. Ptah conceives the world by the thought of his heart and gives life through the magic of his word, manifested frequencies. That which Ptah commanded, the command keys, was created. He also plays a role in the preservation of the world and the permanence of the royal function. All right? The program Ptah or Ta, the program is responsible for the creation of the universe by thought and by the word. Now this sounds real familiar, because you might say, yeah, this sounds real familiar, Lamel, because this, I think about it when I'm thinking about it, it sounds familiar, because I was just thinking about a Bible verse when I was saying in the beginning was the word, or the life force of creative will, and the word was with God, the dot. And the word was God. Thought or thought. That's what God was. So literally, this reminded me of a Bible verse, which is 1:1, which is the King of Kings. 11, 1:1, the King of Kings. You see that? The King of Kings, 1:1. All right. Yeah, in the beginning was the word, and the word was with God, and the word was God. Duh. Because literally, they talk about the king, or they talk about the 11th chakra, which is the crown. We talk about above the head, which is the crown. All right, which is the key to open up the gateway of your mind, which is the key to open up the gateway to your mind. Shout out to Sister Anastasia. Anybody in here, please share the video. All right, they always shut my video down when I do it like this, because a lot of times they want me to broadcast like this because it's a way for them to promote. All right, it's a way for them to promote different things in this fashion. So they always shut my video down when I'm doing stuff like this, y'all. And also they want me to pay. They want me to pay for advertisement and for when I do my broadcast like this. So please share the video. It's important that you share the video. It's important that you look out for the cookout. All right, real talk. So thank you. Thank you for the share, Sister Anastasia. I saw the share. Anybody else, share the video, because I'm going to continue to give y'all something informative. Share the video. Put it on somebody else's timeline. Share it in 10 groups. Start a watch party off. Let's do this. Let me continue the discussion. All right. So now, like I said, I'm taking y'all back to the Taurus energy and why Taurus is so important. Yeah. Taurus, you know what's so important about Taurus? And I told y'all, you got 2 poles, right? Connected with Taurus. You got 2 poles that's connected with Taurus. Duh. Why wouldn't you? Because Taurus so happens to be the 2nd zodiac sign. Taurus is after Aries, is it not? All right. So yeah. So one thing is so special about Taurus is if you conceive, if you having sex at 2 o'clock, you're going to give birth at 11 o'clock. All right. What's so special about the Taurus? Oh man, doesn't it look like the Taurus? You said, man, Lamel, how you going to put the clock on the joint and it looks like the damn Taurus? Yo, it looks like you a special sign, Sister Anastasia. I'm gonna give you this. This is for all my Tauruses in the building. I should rename it for all my Tauruses. Yo, but listen. Don't the clock look like a damn Taurus? The damn Taurus freaking horns. It'll blow your mind. Are we not in a program? Are we not in a program? You used to say, really? Yeah, are we not in a program? Look at the Taurus, the bull, right? The Taurus, the bull. So now you see, if you give birth at 2 o'clock, or no, my fault, if you conceive, my fault, I'm sorry. I'm talking about a Taurus now. If you conceive in 2 o'clock, which is Taurus, which is the 2nd zodiac sign, which has 2 poles, a north and a south pole. All right? It's no way you see a magnetic energy without a north and south pole. Taurus is visible in the northern and the southern hemispheres of your existence. Of your existence, Taurus is connected with the northern and the southern hemisphere because it represents the magnetic thought wave appearing throughout the cosmos, creating a web like literally like a web looking like a spider. Also, you say, golly, Lamel, you connecting the dots. Yeah, like the real web, looking like a spider. But it also looks like a Taurus, the energy, the horns of a Taurus that flows in the northern and the southern hemisphere of your existence. So, back, like I said, if you conceive in Taurus, you give birth in the 11, the Aquarius. If you conceive in Taurus, which is the 2nd house, you say, oh man, this look like the horns of Taurus. You damn right. Bombs. Shout out to my brother Terrell in the building. I see you in here, King. Shout out to Bama. Everybody in Alabama, I love y'all, man. My brother Men of World Peace, Neutral Prime Supreme, Sister Akshita Vita, everybody in Alabama, I love y'all. Everybody across the world, everybody in Africa, everybody in Indonesia, everybody in the UK, everybody across America, listen, yo. Listen to this. I'm bringing y'all back, literally. So I connected the dots up with Taurus, right? As being the number 2, the second zodiac house. Oh man, really? We in Taurus, Lamel. Everybody conceiving right now in Taurus, boom. Everybody conceiving in Taurus right now is giving birth to an Aquarius. Literally. You giving birth to an Aquarius. You say, wow, that's deep. Unless you have a premature baby. But generally speaking, that's how it's supposed to run. Where you conceived in Taurus and you are let out in Aquarius. Now, shout out to Sister Anastasia. Shout out to my 151s in the building, my 511s, my Tauruses in the building. You can my music, you can just download it, Sister Iris. You can just download it. It's all over the place. It's on Spotify. It's on anything moving. Freaking iTunes. All my music is on there. I'm a published artist. I actually have a label called the Messiah Code, a record label. When you go on Spotify, you'll see that we actually have a record label called the Messiah Code. And I will be signing artists soon. If you go on Spotify and also iTunes, you'll see that we have a label called the Messiah Code Records. All right. But yeah, shout out to all my Tauruses. Let me run this back. All right. Please don't interrupt me. If you put something in the comment section, put something that's relevant to Taurus. Put something, shout out to all my Tauruses. Put something that's relevant to Taurus in the comment section. All right? If you're going to put something, shout out to all my Tauruses. It's Taurus time. I'm taking y'all on a Taurus. Literally. So, back to what I was saying. Yo, listen. Listen, yo. If you conceive at 2 o'clock, you receive at 11 o'clock. Wow, Lamel. Wow. The water of Aquarius looks like an 11. I know. Why is that? That's why I said listen. Y'all gotta listen. So if you give birth, if you conceive in Taurus, which is 2, right? That's 2. What is 11? 1 and 1, 2. Reflection. That's why I took y'all back. I literally took y'all back to why you can see Taurus in the northern and the southern hemisphere of your existence. I took y'all back. Today's Thursday. You already know. It's Thirsty Thursday. It's Thirsty Thursday. We getting crack it on here. We getting cracked the head. We getting cracked the dome. Shout out to my neutral prime supreme brother, Meta World Peace in the building. We got Alabama rocking in here. Shout out to everybody from the Bama. I love y'all, man. Let's move forward. Look. So, if I literally showed y'all the fact that, this number 2, you see the number 2, the Taurus, right? Okay, the 2 horns. Okay, I get that. And then we see the number 11. We thinking about the king. And we think about 2 ones. Okay, that's reflection. And then we see the time on the clock. And we dealing with conception. And then we dealing with reception. And we seeing, God damn, this shit looks like an antenna back in the day that you used to put on the TV. Yeah, I know. It looks like an antenna that you tapping into right now. Shout out to all my Tauruses, all my Taurus rising in the building. So, yeah, it's literally an antenna that you tapping into. Listen, we in the wave. We literally in the wave of Pataurus. Now, watch this. I got something for you. So you might say, well, which way should we pray, Lamel? Now, I'm going to break something down. Let me break something down real quick. And I want to share something with y'all. You know, when Allah or God or any type of supreme force that you connected to, right? Literally connected with human beings, right? It was always behind a face mask. It was always behind a veil or some sort. You might say, for real? You mean we contaminated, Lamel? Like, damn. Like almost like we contaminated, Lamel? Like God always appeared before us in a veil? Because we might be contaminated? You damn right. You might be contaminated. So, every time Allah interceded with you, like for instance, that's what I'm saying, the direction of prayer. I'm going to bring this back. Look at this. Anytime, like for instance, like God interceded with you, right? It was behind a veil. Like, boom. Originally answered in Exodus 20:21. Wow. It says this, that Moses approached the thick darkness where God was. But God himself appeared in fire in the midst of a cloud of smoke. In Exodus 19:18. So, every time it was literally a veil that God appeared before man. Like literally, man was contaminated of some sort. Like man had some sort of virus or some sort. That God is so pure that God had to put some form of face mask or some sort of veil between itself and yourself in order to intercede or to give you the message. You might say, oh, I get it now. That's why literally you was given a form of a matrix. All right, let me show you. You was given a form of a matrix. You was given a form of a matrix to connect up with this realm. You was given a form of matrix. Now, the word matrix is womb. It really connects up with womb. All right, but I'm gonna show you this, that the word matrix is also the word dabir, which means inner niche. Now, you want to say, how am I going to connect this to the head? How am I going to connect this to the head, Lamel? How am I going to connect this to the head and the signal that's channeling out to the universe from the head? Very easy. That's very, 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 very easy. Very easy to connect these things up. Very easy. Because if you look at it, watch how I break this down. The shape of the universe, is in the shape of a Taurus. The shape of the universe is in the shape of the Taurus, y'all. The shape of the knowable universe is in the shape of the Taurus. All right? Meaning that it's flowing outside and inside itself at the same time. I want you to think about it and put yourself in this perspective. Put yourself in that same category where literally you say, I said the shape of the universe is basically in the shape of the Taurus energy. It's flowing inside and outside of itself. But guess what? It's something that's pouring out when it comes out. It's something that's truly pouring out when it comes out. in its divine water. Now, what's so special about the water, the soul, which is air, right? Soul, air. Because soul is air, soul is water, solar. All right? Look, listen. When Taurus is actually received, it's received in the 11. So you got the 211 right there. That's the 121. Back again, giving y'all the code. Giving y'all the code, the 121. All right? So now you see it's the soul air. It's the soul of air, because if you think about it, we are in, what age are we in? The age of Aquarius. We in the age of Aquarius. Y'all call it that. We do not call it the age of Aquarius. We call it the age of information. All right? This is the age where literally something is happening to you. Something is happening to each and every one of us right now. Like an eruption is taking place. Like something is happening to each and every one of us, where we are becoming something else. All right? And that is the age that we're in, where your whole body is receiving the message from the universe. Where your whole being is receiving the message from the cosmos. All right? So now, we are in the age of what we call information. It comes to a point where we're going to connect up with the throne. You might say, well, what throne is that, Lamel? The throne that we're going to connect up to is Messiahship. It's literally Messiahship. All right? Every 133 years, something happens. All right? Something happens in our solar system or to our planet. All right? Now, we actually have what is called meteorites, a meteorite shower from an asteroid called Swift Tidal. It almost sounds like Swift Turtle. But listen, we receive meteorite showers from an asteroid called Swift Tidal or Swift Turtle. Okay? Now, this happens every 133 years that this asteroid actually passes, and the debris that we receive and the debris that we pass through, far as the debris, we actually pass through the debris of this comet. All right, my fault. Of this comet or asteroid, and we actually receive something from it. Okay? And I'm going to get to that. And this connects up with something else. All right? It connects up with Orion and Gemini. Okay? So now, in 2018, a Geminoid meteorite shower comes with a bonus brilliant comet. This was in the year 2018. All right, and this was known as basically we had meteorite showers that happened. All right, and something happened in the year 2018. Okay, it was a revelation that actually came down. Okay, again, that's when what was called the new body of the Messiah actually was received, when we received it at the pilgrimage vacation in the year 2018, according to the Gregorian calendar. All right, I want to show y'all something. So a lot of times when I talk about the Lady of the North or the Sister of the North, okay, or if I talk about the female Messiah, I'm basically talking about a constellation called Cassiopeia. All right, I know that we have been a privy to the various constellations far as the zodiac, the 12, but I want to introduce you to other constellations that have various different energies, so we can tap into that energy. All right. So when you look at Cassiopeia in the sky, all right, this is called Lady of the Throne, wife of the Phoenix. All right, and this is moving forward from Taurus. Now, the reason why I brought Taurus up is because we are in the Taurus energy, and we got to give reference to the Taurus, which is the head. All right, and that gives birth to the sun. All right. Now, boom. When I bring y'all to the wife of the Phoenix, which they call Cassiopeia, and we don't really call it Cassiopeia, we actually call it Lamel. It actually represents the principle of 131 or 141, because no matter how you see Cassiopeia, it connects you up with the northern hemisphere, or the North Star, or the northern hemisphere. You might say, why is that? Because Cassiopeia faces the North Star no matter what. No matter what. So if you was in indentured servitude, or if you was a slave back in the day, you would actually look for Cassiopeia so you can be able to find your way to the North Star, so you'll be able to find your way to the north. All right? And this, in a sense, became a direction of prayer also. All right, taking you from the head to the direction of the other head, which is the north, because I associated Taurus with the north, because Taurus also is connected with the south also, but I connected with Taurus as being the mind, all right. So if you would connect it up for as the mind, if you would connect up Taurus in this perspective, when I was saying a direction, I'm talking about how literally the mind bringing it to the physical perspective. All right, that's what I was talking about. Up, coming down, Taurus. All right, so moving forward to another direction, which is basically Cassiopeia or Lamel, which is sister of the north, which is the sun, which is the sister of the north, sun, sister of north, which is the Cassiopeia, which is all three in one, 131, the 5-pointed star, or the five the 5 points of a woman. Cassiopeia also connecting up, the same thing. She represents the wife of the Phoenix. All right, and no matter where you see Cassiopeia or Lamel, you will always be able to find the North Star. You'll always be able to find the North Star and find your way towards the northern polarity. All right, no matter what time of the year, you'll actually be able to find your way home if you was actually looking. Now, I gave y'all another way to connect up when I told y'all, I said literally when you go on your knees, you actually can connect up and find north, east, south, and west. But now moving towards this direction, you actually can find your way toward the north by just finding this celestial lineup. Okay, so now I wanted to bring y'all to something, to this. My fault. Let me see if I can get that in there. I don't know if I can get it. Y'all can see that. Can y'all see it? All right, this is a Quranic verse, right? This is Quran chapter 103, verse 1. All right, and if you see the Arabic right here, right, it says wal asr, wal al asr. That's what it says in Arabic. Wal al asr. All right, so let me see if I can bring that. Yeah. So you might say, well, what does that mean, Lamel? And why is that relevant? All right. This is very, very, very important for y'all to get. I don't know if I'm not even showing it in the English. I don't know if y'all can see it in the English. But in the English, they say by the squeezing of time. All right. By the squeezing of time. All right, listen, I want to tell y'all something. Unfortunately, we don't have no more time, y'all. We don't have no more time. If you look at that verse, Quran chapter 103, verse 1, right? They say wal al asr, El Asr, Wal El Azr, El Lazar, El Azr, El Azr, El Azr, El Azr, El Asr, which is another name for Lazarus. El Asr is another name for Lazarus. Now, Asr means to squeeze, like the squeezing of an orange juice. Like they would say the same thing, they would utilize that same word, Asr, as the squeeze orange juice. But El Asr means Lazarus. Like my name in Arabic, I know it. Like my name in Arabic is Al Asr. That's how I introduce my name to people sometimes that speak Arabia. I say, my name is El Asr. They be like, okay, I get it, Lazarus. So El Asr is also Quran chapter 103, verse 1, which is 131. All right? I don't know if y'all see that, but I'll make it a little bit smaller so y'all can see it a little bit. You see that? That's Quran chapter 103, verse 1. Quran 103, verse 1. All right. Well, Al-Asr. Al-Asr is the squeezing of time. All right. But it's the time that who comes? Asr or Osiris. Asr. It's the same thing. El Asr is Osiris, but El Asr is also Lazarus. Also, they're one and the same. They're one and the same. All right, just in different cultures. They're one and the same. And you're gonna say, you know what, Lamel? You're right. They are one and the same. When I think about the story of Lazarus, and I think about the story of shout out to Queen. It's all good. When I think about the story of Lazarus and I think about the story of Osiris, I think about the same thing. But then when you think about their names, El Asr and Osiris, Asir, you say, oh man, they connecting these things up. Now I brought y'all to it. To Quran chapter 103, verse 1, to actually solve the mystery of it by the squeezing of time. It's something that happens. Now we don't have no more time. Unfortunately, we don't have no more time. All right, and now is the time. So when I'm sharing different information, like for instance, just moving forward on here with this. Just thinking about it, every chapter of the Quran is called a surah, like Ashura, which means to be renowned. Also, if you think about it, every chapter is called a surah, which means picture, and I show that. And I pull that up. You know what I mean? Alright. Like you'll see that the word surah means picture. You know what I'm saying? In Arabic. So what's so deep about it is I want to take y'all even deeper than that. I want to take y'all even deeper than that. Because man, if you say the word surah means picture, one of the attributes of Allah is Musawiru, which is the fashioner. That's one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is Musawir. Same word, Sawir, Cyrus, Lazarus, Asr, same thing. They're all connected up. All those words are connected up for a reason. All right, to bring y'all to the direction of where y'all need to pray. Not saying it's to me, but I'm saying it's towards the direction of the Lazarus state of resurrecting your mind and your body and spirit. all right, to that Osiris state, to your mind, body, and spirit, resurrecting that. Because if you see the Taurus, it flows in and out of itself. It flows in and out of yourself. I tell people a lot of times, your lowest point will always be your highest point, because that will define your story and define your character for what it's worth. All right. So yeah. What else I wanted to give y'all on here? Just for something special. Yeah, those are important verses. Like that Quranic verse that I brought up. It's important. That's an important verse. You know what I mean? And another verse that I'm going to bring up. Thank you, Queen. Another verse that I'm going to bring up, some other stuff that I want y'all to peep game on. All right. Is this. When I was talking about Taurus, right? When I was talking about Taurus. When I was giving reference to the Taurus, I was giving reference to the Rosh. In Hebrew, basically the letters Rosh, it means head. Same thing. All right, and that's Ezekiel chapter 38. You can see that. Rosh, meaning head. Same thing. Same thing. Okay, I wanted to get to this veil situation. I wanted to talk about this. The veil. That's Quran. I wanted to give y'all Quran. What is this? 4251. That's what I wanted to give y'all. This is an important Quranic verse. All right. Now, you might say, why is this Quranic verse so important, Lamel? All right. You might say, well, why is it so important? I'm going to tell you why it's so important. Because of words like this. Let me see. Remember when I was telling y'all like how God doesn't reveal nothing except for behind a veil? Now, listen. The word that they use, where is it? Hijab. Behind a hijab. There it is. Hijab. You see that? That's the word hijab. That's the word hijab in Arabic, right? Which is the word veil. Now, listen to this. It says, and it said, this is what I told y'all. I brought it from the Quran also. The Quran says the same thing. This is Quran chapter 42 verse 51. It says, and it is not for any human being that Allah should speak to him except by revelation or from behind they say partition, but the word as you see is hijab. And hijab means actually barrier. It doesn't mean throwing on a face veil. All right. So you can't say God is sitting here speaking with a face veil on. All right. Like he's sitting there like all the women is wearing face veils. All right. And God is wearing a face veil too. Not in that instance. All right. But in reflection, it's like that. Okay. And I'm going to tell y'all why. All right. Or that he sends a messenger to reveal by his permission what he wills. Indeed, he is. And let me see what else is in that verse. He is the Most High and wise. All right. So the thing is, I want y'all to see is that it says that basically Allah doesn't reveal anything except for behind a hijab. Now the word hijab, let me see if he'll pronounce it.
Hijabin.
Hijabin. Yeah,
hijabin.
All right, cool. All right, so the word hijab actually meant barrier, but it was another barrier that God actually far as put between itself and man and woman. It was another barrier that I want to tell y'all that actually Allah or God or any other name that you want to name it put between itself and human beings, and it was called Wahi. Wahi. Now you might not know what Wahi means, but Wahi actually, if I would translate it, it would be meaning like inspiration. Like that was the barrier, another word that they utilized as a barrier between human beings and the Most High God. It was by Wahi. Wahi. So it's through inspiration also. So I want y'all to peep game on that one. Alright? I want you to peep game on that. That was the other barrier between us and the Most High God, which was Wahi. Inspiration. Because that's the way that God or the universal force moves through us. If you go into Quran chapter 61 verse 14, it talks about how the Messiah said, yo, who's going to be my helpers? And then all the disciples or the Hariyunas said, man, we're going to be helpers of Allah. Meaning not saying that Allah needs your help, but more or less that they're going to let Allah's will manifest through them so they can help those that are in need and be Allah's arm here on the planet Earth. Alright? So that's what it was all about. Okay? So, yeah. What else I want to say on here before I get off? Yeah, Swift Tidal. I really wanted to go deep on Swift Tidal, but I want to save that because the Geminoid meteorite shower that comes from a Gemini, run that back. Yeah, I was gonna go somewhere with that, but I didn't want to take y'all too left field. Because it was something that I brought up and about this meteorite shower. All right, and the fact that when meteorite showers happen, like from Halley's Comet and other meteorite showers that happen from asteroids or comets, it was always considered to be doomsday or special in reference to a certain energy coming down from the cosmos. So that's something I want y'all to peep game on. So if every point in a year, you get a meteorite shower that comes from Gemini, and this happens around like, this is December, around December 10th, somewhere around that time through the 17th. It may happen. It happens different times a year, but essentially, it's an energy that comes down also from there. So that's something important I want people to understand too. These are constellations that we don't even connect up with. Far as Orion, we connect up with the 12 zodiac signs, but what about the power of Orion? Orion actually has a superpower, a very, very huge power on this planet. Okay? And manifestations come from this constellation. Literally, energy comes from this constellation to manifest on this earth. Don't you know that the freaking Osiris story essentially came from the story of basically of Orion, of the meteorite showers that come from Orion. All right, you might say, how is that? All right, literally because we have meteorite showers that happen every year from Orion, right? And Orion is considered to be Osiris. The same, they're one and the same. Orion is Osiris. So when the meteorite showers came down, the ancients believed that the meteorite showers actually represent the pieces of the body of Osiris. Y'all get it? Y'all understand why I brought this up, why it was important. Like they believed, or if you want to say believe or trusted, in the fact that the energies, they felt it was energies that came from Orion. You ask me, what direction do we pray? I'm telling y'all, I'm giving y'all different hints here. But if you see it, like I said, the ancients saw different pieces coming from Orion's belt or coming from Orion, the constellation, every year. All those pieces they would consider to be the pieces of Osiris being chopped up. And they landed, and everybody would go trying to find this Wakanda metal that actually landed on the planet Earth. They would go in search of this Wakanda metal and actually literally do different things with it. All right, but in actuality, you are that Wakanda metal that landed from the sky. You might say, why is that? Because most asteroids are made of iron. If you think about it, the iron is located in the hemoglobin of your heart, which is the innermost layer of your being. All right, so yeah, definitely. So that was so important. Yeah, the pieces of Orion, or the pieces of Osiris, Osir, because it's by the squeezing of time. Remember, I brought y'all the Quran, chapter 103, verse 1. And you got to ask yourself, what's up, my son? Oh, I got my son. You got to ask yourself, in the Quran, why would Quran chapter 103, verse 1 be called? And they start off and say, El Asr, which is Lazarus. And then you think about it, freak, man, the Quran is a green book. Most Qurans are green. And you think of Osiris being green. You say, man, damn, Osiris is green. So then when you think of Asura is called Asura, like Asura. Yeah, like the same thing. So it's green. So you're like, damn, man, why the hell they doing this to me? And then you'll see that Muhammad, or Moses, was met by a person called El Qadir, which was the green one. All right, which shed the green light on people. And then also you would see that the head of, far as in Revelation chapter 7 verse 1, when they talk about the head of the tribes of Israel, they put Judah at the head. And what color is Judah? What color is for Judah? Is green, which is the sign of the emerald. And that's the sign of Lazarus, because Lazarus meets you at the heart chakra. Lazarus meets you literally at the heart chakra. Lazarus and Martha, they both meet you at the heart chakra. Literally, which is green once again, which is a healing force. All right, so now I'm bringing y'all up to the Messiah, Isa Maryam, also called Jesus, also called many other things. But I'm going to tell you, Isa, or what we call Yeshua, or Savior, guess what? That's just only a title of the Messiah. The Messiah has many titles. The Messiah holds many belts. And one of the belts that the Messiah owns is called the Savior. You got to think about it like that. I want you to think about it like that. All right. So let me pump this music. I'm gonna do some outro. I'm gonna do an outro. Let me get this popping. Let me get this music pumping. Yeah, Isa Yeshua, you already know. You're a savior, man. You are the savior. You're a special birthday. You're a 151, son. You're a Saturn. You definitely connect up with the planet Saturn, which connects up with Capricorn. All right, it connects up with Capricorn. Definitely, we need more people to connect these thoughts up. Y'all special people, man. Y'all real special people. I need y'all to do special things. This was a good discussion. Shout out to everybody that joined and participated in the broadcast. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace to everybody that is donating and sponsoring the channel. All right. We got many things to do. Many things to do. Please figure out your purpose in this. All right. I only need one thing for you to do. That's it. Trust me on that. And it will be fulfilled. What we got going on will be fulfilled. Everybody should be growing food. Everybody should be making an attempt to grow food. Yo, Issa, you should see the garden. And yo, y'all should tell him. My son ain't seen the garden in a month and a half. He ain't been here in a month. Yo, if you see the garden now, son, you gonna get hungry out there. You gonna go out there and get hungry. You gonna be like, yo, I'm kind of hungry. Yo, what are we cooking? What are we fixing? Yeah, call me up, son. I love you, man. Shout out to all the parents, man, doing some real good stuff for the family, man. Yeah, I love. Tell your mom to drop you off. Tell her to drop your ass off. I love you, son. I love everybody. This was an interesting conversation. In conclusion, let me do my conclusion, so y'all know what y'all learned here a little bit. All right. In the conclusion of this discussion, I brought up the Quran. They say, well, you got to pray to the east. You do not got to pray to the east, because according to the Quran, this is Quran. Do I got to make this a little bit bigger for y'all? According to the Quran, I'll make it a little bit bigger for y'all, so y'all can see it. Look, listen. If they say you got to face the east, you do not got to face the east. Because in Quran, chapter 2, verse 115. Wow, that hooks up to 2:115. That's my son's birthday. He's in the building. Shout out. Look at this. And to Allah belongs the east and the west. And wherever you might turn, there is the face of Allah. So if they ask you where's the face of Allah is everywhere. It's no direction that you can face that Allah isn't, that God isn't. All right? For all the haters in the building, shout out. Another thing that I was bringing up in here, I was talking about the power of Taurus. I was talking about the power of the Taurus energy. Now, the opposite of a 115 would be the 151 or the 511, which flows in Taurus. All right, I was breaking down the Taurus energy, and I was talking about how literally you can see the Taurus zodiac sign. You can see it in the northern and the southern hemisphere. Why is that? Because it represents the magnetic energy of the way that reality flows. Because reality flows in the energy of a Taurus. I was talking about that, but the ancients knew it too. That's why they related it to the same thing. Everything is a matrix that we living in. You see that. You can see the Taurus sign in the northern and the southern hemisphere. All right. Yeah, so I was connecting these thoughts up. And then I showed y'all this. If you conceive in Taurus, which so happens to be what? The second zodiac sign, you will give birth to an Aquarius, which is the 11th zodiac sign. So that kind of looks like these, like, for some reason, that's a 121, 211, but for some reason, that looks like this to me. For some reason, that looks like this to me. For some reason, that looks like this to me. Shout out to all my Tauruses. All right, a special place. All right, Taurus is the second of the that's what I was saying. Taurus is the second of the 12 astrological signs, and is represented by the bull constellation of the 4 zodiac elements: earth, air, earth, fire, and water. I'm not talking about the music group. Taurus is an earth sign. Taurines, like the bull that represents them, are known to be intelligent, dependable, hardworking, dedicated, and stubborn. Wow, I already know. You know y'all Tauruses are stubborn. Captain Planet. All right, so another place that Taurus was connected with was Hecate-Ptah. Hecate-Ptah is also called Memphis, all right, or which is called Men-Nefer, which is a place in Egypt, and this is where Tanun was worshipped. And Tanun actually represents Ta, which is Ptahus, and Nun, which is Aquarius, which is water. Thus, both Ptah and Nun were thought to be the father of the sun Atem or Atum. All right, and also thought to be more powerful than any god. Did y'all hear that? You gotta look this stuff up. But this goes back to Memphis. Now, the creator god Ptah, he was connected with Noon. I showed y'all how Ptah and Noon was connected, because Noon is easy. Noon represents the freaking this. This is what Noon represents, y'all. Very easy. Noon represents this. Because remember, Noon was the water. Remember, Noon represents water. So every time you see water, it represents Noon. But Noon is also means whale, like in Hebrew. Like when Jonah went into the belly of the water, he went into the belly of the Noon, of the water. He went to the belly of the Noon. It wasn't the belly of the whale. He went into the belly of the waters, which is Noon. Now remember Yeshua, who was the forerunner, who actually succeeded Moses. Yeshua, he was the son of Noon. He was the son of Noon. That was important, because Noon represents the higher forces of the creator. The higher forces represent that aquatic nature of air. Literally, the time and age that we living in, which is information. It's the information that's flowing down. All right. So yeah, that's why Noon or Ta Noon was important. We in Aquarian age. All right. But that's it. That's all I wanted to leave y'all with. It's really good. We having a good discussion. You know, I love y'all. I definitely love y'all. We putting in this work. We definitely putting in this work. And another conclusion to this build is, remember too, I brought up the word. These are words that I want y'all to look up. Look, I brought up Quran chapter 103. That should have been hard. That was like hard. That should have hit y'all hard. Look, because when it was revealed to me, like I told y'all, God gives me a certain amount of numbers and I just dial up the digits. So every time I dial up the digits, I be like, whoa! I be like, whoa! Whoa! I be like, whoa! Listen, it was one of those moments when it was revealed to me, when I looked in the Quran, and it was chapter 103 verse 1, and it said, Wa El Asr. I said, man, damn, El Asr. That's El Asr is Lazarus in Arabic. 1031, a 131. And El Asr is Osiris. Asr. They're the same people. And Asr or Lazarus is the scientist. Jacob, Yaqub, the 17. The same thing. The same thing. So now it's really cooking on here, which is Israel, the realm of ascension. Okay? So yeah, man, we really gonna cook. I'm gonna share some more powerful information with y'all. I'm gonna start doing another thing too. Starting next week, I'm gonna have a course, an online course. I'm gonna do an online course. I'm gonna just do a step process of certain processes of the Messiah Code. That's what I'm gonna do. Every week, like for the last month, I had a particular subject. Next week, it's going to be certain due processes of the Messiah Code that I think everybody should be connected with. Whether it be the language, whether it be knowing the codex, whether it be knowing how to speak to the elders or the angels. All right, and you might say, are there real angels, Lamel? Yes, there are real angels that you can actually connect up with. All right, let me see, and I'll give you a 131 on that one. There are angels that you can connect up with, because if you go into Quran chapter 13 verse 11, which is another 131, it says this: for each person there are angels in succession before and behind him. They guard him by the command of Allah. Verily, Allah will not change the good condition of a people as long as they do not change their state of goodness themselves by committing sins and by being ungrateful and disobedient to Allah. But when Allah wills a people's punishment, there can be no turning back of it, and they will find besides him no protector. Alright, so this is important to understand. Yeah, that's another 131 right there. Quran chapter 13 verse 11. It says, for each person there are angels in succession before and behind him. Alright? They guard him by the commandment of Allah. Everyone has a certain energy that's connected with you, that protects you. Alright? And that's important to know. That's another 131. Okay? So, boom. Shout out to everybody. This was a blessing. Peace to all the messiahs. Peace to y'all, man. Definitely was a good discussion. Y'all stay close to home base, alright? Cool.